You're in the 8th grade. You've been at the same middle school for 2 years now, and aside from a few new faces, most of the students have stayed the same. There's this one friend, someone you've known since 4th grade, back when you both played on the same basketball team, and over the years, you've grown pretty fond of her, and it seemed like she'd grown pretty fond of you too. Since the start of 8th grade, you and her talk on and off. Some weeks it's every day, some weeks it's now and then, but things start to change when your school announces a trip to Washington, D.C. And by coincidence, or maybe fate, your last names are pretty similar enough to land you in the same group out of 2. From the airport to the museums, you end up side by side a lot more than you expected. You remember sitting at the gate, waiting to board the plane, when she plops down in a seat right next to you. The conversation starts naturally. Your friends tease you for talking to a girl, but you brush it off. And now you realize just how much you like being around her. So you take your chance. You ask for her number, and what do you know? She gives it to you. During the trip, you both talk non-stop about anything, everything, jokes, memories, dreams, dumb stuff. And even after the trip ends, the conversation's done. You nearly talk every day, and there are moments where it gets a little quiet between you two. Awkward lulls, uncertainty, problems about initiation, the person who starts the conversation. But somehow, it always works out, and the bond keeps growing slowly, but surely. As the school year winds down, reality starts to creep in. Promotion is just a few weeks away, and with it, a long summer break, and nearly 3 months apart. You find yourself more affected by the coming separation than she seems to be. When you bring it up, she doesn't really say much, and maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's something. The promotion day arrives. Because of your similar last names, again, you're seated right next to each other for the ceremony. When it ends, you hug goodbye, but when you try to say a second goodbye before heading out, she quickly waves and runs off with her friends. You stand there a little stunned. At dinner that night, you can't stop thinking about the way she left. Like it wasn't a big deal. You ask her later why she left so fast, and she tells you that her friend needed help. This should make sense, but it doesn't, because if you truly care about someone, you make time for them, even in chaos. Your brain starts to spiral. Does she not feel the same anymore? Is she pulling away? Despite everything, you still talk, though not quite the same as before. You're busy with sports and the gym, but you always make time for her. Then, one day, a conflict happens. Not even something deep, just enough tension to throw things off. You don't say goodnight, and neither does she. 1 day passes, nothing. 2 days, still nothing. 3, silence. By the 4th day, your thoughts are getting loud. Maybe she's moved on. Maybe you were the only one holding on. Then, on the 5th day, she messages you. Hey, it's been a while. Everything okay? You answer, a little unsure. And then you finally ask, why did you ignore me for those 4 days? She says she was giving you space, and that really stuns you. Space? From what? Why would space be needed unless something's changed? You try to explain how the silence made you feel. Confused, abandoned. You think you're finally getting somewhere when she suddenly asks, do you even still like me? You scoff. What kind of question is that? Of course, I still really like you. And naturally, you ask her the same. Her reply? Yeah, I care about us. I care about our friendship. Friendship. That word hits like a slap across the face. You try to keep her cool and respond. Our friendship? And she replies, we are friends. Broski. Broski. You sit there, feeling everything collapse inward. You thought this meant more. You feel like it did. So you reply with a flat, friend. Okay. That night ends with you lying awake, mind spinning, all the signs you missed start flashing red in your head. The quiet detachment, the brushed off moments, the way you always just seemed to care a little more than she did. And then comes that Sunday night, the text that confirms your fears. A message so blunt, so final you had to read it twice to process. She wants to take a step back to being friends again. No more flirtation, no more closeness, back to square one. It's like the past 8 months have been erased. You sit there holding your phone, wondering how you got there. You retrace every memory, every late night message, every smile exchanged across the hallway, and now it feels fake. Or maybe not fake, just one-sided. You realize how hard you tried, how much you reached out, how much of your heart was wrapped up in hope that just maybe she felt the same way. But now she doesn't, and the hardest part, she probably never did. So you put down your phone, and for the first time in a while, you don't feel like texting back. Not to be rude, not out of anger, but because you're finally tired of chasing something that doesn't want to be caught. You get up, brush the dust off those memories, and step out into the summer air. You've got a whole new chapter ahead of you. High school, new faces, new friends, new possibilities, and maybe, just maybe, someone who sees you the way you saw her. Not as a friend, but as someone worth choosing. Summer drifts on. The ache lingers at first, not just from what happened, but from what could have been. You keep going to basketball practice, late gym sessions, long car rides with the music loud enough to drown your own thoughts. And slowly, the silence between you and her just becomes that. Silence. Not a pause, not a cliffhanger, just an ending. And in that silence, something begins to grow. Clarity. You realize something nobody really teaches you. You can't force someone to choose you, no matter how much you show up for them, care for them, or wish they'd see what's right in front of them. People either choose you or they don't. There's really no between, and that's when they hate you. You deserve someone who chooses you the same way you chose them, without hesitation, without confusion, without half effort. And you begin to notice things. How people only message when they're bored, how they flirt when it's convenient, but disappear when you need them, how they like your attention more than they like you. There's a difference, and now you know it. People who want you show up when it's inconvenient. They ask how your day really was. They remember the little things. They don't play games with your emotions or keep you guessing. People who want your attention show up when they need something. They want validation, the comfort, the good morning text until they're good again. And then they vanish. And when they're feeling low again, they come right back. Not because they care, but because you made them feel better about themselves. And you, my friend, you deserve better than that. You deserve someone who texts you first because they truly miss you, not because they're bored. Someone who says, I like you too, without dodging behind jokes or calling you broski. Someone who doesn't make you wonder how they feel, because they tell you, and they show you every single day. So make a quiet promise to yourself. Next time you won't settle for being someone's maybe. Next time you'll choose someone who chooses you clearly, consistently, and completely. And when that person comes, you'll know. Because it won't feel like confusion, it'll feel like peace. Like you finally stopped chasing and started being met where you are.